Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Stephanie Stamp Pad where we get together and make a card. Today's card is Whaley cute, no pun intended, of course it was intended. But look how cute it says. It says you are Whaley special. And it has a cute little whale on it with the little popped up sun, and you know what? Easy to make. Let me share with you. What we're gonna do is we are going to need the whale to stamp set that I designed for Stamps of Life, as well as the patterns for whale stamp set, and the dies for the whale. And that's pretty much all we need. The first thing we're gonna do is we are going to, easy peasy, just fold our card in half. Now, excuse me, I did use the Sizzix card base. This is the most important die to have in your life, okay? Now I'll tell you the number, don't email us, I'm telling you the number. It's 660143. It's called Lovely, and it's a drop-in die. The most important die in that set is this one, because this one makes a standard card base. That's it. That's all. It's awesome. That way you don't have to cut it and score it and then have it not line up all the time and everything. This is it. Perfect. Ready to go. I, in fact, leave it off to the side right here off of camera, but it's hanging up right there, ready to go anytime. So I've already done that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get out some white cardstock. We're not doing much die cutting, which is unusual for us. And we're going to stamp our whale. Now normally I would always use my larger ink pad, but for some reason someone has taken my midnight one, so I'm going to use my little one because I wanted to use the midnight ink on this one. So normally I would use my big ink pad because this would be much easier and not as messy, but oh well. So we've inked that up. And we are going to stamp it right about there. And of course, I'm using my Stamper Secret Weapon below me. So I'm stamping that right there. Get a nice, good impression. Look at that. Beautiful. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the cute little water spurt. And that's right here. So I'm going to get a little block. And we're going to add that. And let's add that in probably Storm or Cloud. Oh, found Storm first, so Storm wins. So we're going to grab that, we're going to ink that up, and we're going to stamp that right there. So that makes it really look cute. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add the sentiment, you are Whaley special. So let's find that one. This one's right here. And let's take this one off and use this one. There we go. Now to clean your stamps, all you need to use is regular baby wipes, cheap baby wipes. That's what I use. Just cheap baby wipes. I'm going to ink that and I'm going to stamp that right there. You are Whaley special. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to die cut a couple things. First, I'm going to bring this over here a little bit so you can see. Finger test, make sure I don't need to flip my thing. And it's almost time, so I'll go ahead and flip it now. So we're going to lay this down and lay that down. That's for our sun, so we'll go ahead and drop that in there. And then I want to drop in the, uh-oh, there it is. I knew I had it somewhere. the water die. So we're gonna grab this, come on, and we're going to add that like right there to die cut the edge of that. And then I think that's all we need to die cut. That is it. So we're going to grab a cutting pad and we're gonna run that through. That's how easy this is. Isn't that easy? And then we're going to use a little bit of adhesive foam for our little sun, just to make that sun pop up. So we have that, and we're actually going to use this piece here, and it looks like that's a little crooked, but that's actually cute because now it looks like the whale's actually swimming in the water. The water's not perfectly straight. So we're going to add our water to the bottom, just like that. Then we're going to add our cute little sun. Pop that little guy out. Look how intricate this is. This is so cute. Now before we add this, let's add a little bit of inking around it, just to kind of add a little bit more interest to it. So we'll just start off the page and then just kind of go around the edges. And I always get ink on my fingers. I don't know how that manages to happen. So we're just going to do it on the rays of the sun. This would also make a fun flower too if you did it in different colors. Okay, so we're going to add that. And let's get some adhesive foam. Just a little tiny piece. I like that I can make my own adhesive foam squares because then I can get the exact size that I want or need, which makes life a little easier. So I'm going to peel that off. So we're going to add the little sun right here. And then we are going to add a little bit of detail to this. So let's add some detail. We're just going to add some, whoops, let's use the fine tip. So we're using our markers, and we're just going to add a couple little, just fun little details. You could add some little stitch marks, you could add some little dots, whatever you feel like doing, just to add a little extra, make it your own. You know what I mean? Personalize it a little bit more. And then to the water, let's add something to the water. So let's do just a little stitch lines around the water. And you can do anything you want. I'm doing a line, dot, but you do whatever you want. But it just kind of adds a little bit extra. Oops. See how fun that is? And it makes it more personalized. So we'll just add this. Cute. Oh, let's add one right here. There we go. Okay, and then we are going to add this to our card. Look how easy this is. Can you believe it? So we're going to add this to our card right here, just like that. And then to finish it off, we're going to add some ribbon. And we're going to go around this like this. And I'm going to tie a knot. We tied a knot on that one too. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so I'm going to hold that down. Tie a knot. When in doubt, tie a knot. There we go. Look how cute that is. And then I don't know if these scissors are, my real scissors are on my desk behind you, that way over there. So we're going to trim this there. And that was it. Look at that. Isn't that cute and so adorable? You are Whaley special, and we can open that up and write our little message. I love how that popped up sun really just makes it pop. Isn't that fun? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad, where we get together and we make a Whaley fun card. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.